Now that you've had your first taste of fieldwork, it's important that we take a moment and review what we're trying to accomplish on the discussion board. Pitfalls to avoid when doing fieldwork. Do your best to describe what you're observing without judging. For example, statements like, a warm, inviting house, pretty lawn chair, ugly fence, beautiful views, cute child, middle-class couple. Very few American adults describe themselves as anything other than middle class. Older car, older than God, older than your father's Oldsmobile. Pricey jewelry, compared to what? It's important that you take an objective view, just as if you're a good news reporter. Stick to the facts. Avoid emotional adjectives in your descriptions as much as possible. Above all, avoid the easy, meaningless adjectives like nice, neat, or statements like, this is so cool. The trick is to go to the trouble to ask yourself what it is that makes the house inviting, the woman pretty, or the man handsome, and so forth. Then, having done so, it is not only legitimate, but compelling to say, in your own words, on the basis of the foregoing description, I infer that the occupants must be wealthy, or the car was owned by a student, or whatever it may be. You will find that acquiring skills in the game of avoiding judgment is surprisingly difficult. If you succeed, you'll be practicing cultural relativism. Try to avoid ethnocentrism. It is also important to take yourself out of the picture. What you like or feel is not relevant to your analysis. It is important to reflect on how what you think or feel might impact or has impacted your observation or analysis. But label them as such. Upon reflection, I can see how. Many of you responded to your classmates' postings with reflections, what you thought or felt or related to something that they said. It's important that we begin to respond as anthropologists. How does their information further your understanding of the research question? What questions can you ask of them? What other information might they have that can help your understanding of the research question? Or what questions or information can you relate that might help them? Questions like, did you consider, or your work stated, I'm curious about, are a good way to approach this. Statements like, I agree, I also go to, I like, should be avoided. Take yourself out of the picture. You will notice as we continue through the class that my grading of your assignments will become harder as I expect your analytical, critical thinking skills to improve. I've added a field note template to the class area. Take the time to look it over and use it with your fieldwork postings and for your fieldwork projects. Now go back and revisit your first fieldwork posting. How might you write it differently?